of lucky incidents had landed me in a tough situation. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, I accidentally stumbled into a voice and accent training class. I had no idea how I got there, and I had no idea what brought me there. But there I was, sitting there in front of one of the best trainers in Bangalore. I was a little nervous and a little apprehensive, and I was thinking maybe this may be a waste of my time. But as the classes started, I realized that maybe this is going to be life-changing, not just for me, but for my clients as well. As the classes got over, I was really eager to get my hands on a client and practice it all for myself. I was pitching it left, right, and center. Wherever I went, I positioned myself as a voice and accent trainer. And 1 month after my course was done, the opportunity arose. I had pitched to Sydney High School saying that I was really good at voice and accent training, but they didn't really listen to me. They gave me the option to have a training program for public speaking skills for their teachers. 3 days before the training was to start, they gave me a call. Actually, you can add voice and accent to that module. 3 days? I had no module. I had not a single slide on my PPT. I did not have anything. And even worse, not an ounce of experience. 3 days was what I had. On one hand, I was excited. I wanted to take it up. On the other, I knew that it was a really long stretch. I said yes and hesitantly put down the phone. The next 3 days, I lived a life like I had never lived before. Sunsets, sunrises, midnights, cups of coffee, everything went on, but my life was at a standstill. I was sitting at my desk, burning the midnight oil. Day in and day out. Day 3 was worse. I had not slept, and the lack of sleep was catching up with me. I had just a few hours to get my module together. In the wee hours of the morning, the content was finally done. The training was about to start. I looked at my watch. It said 3 a.m. I looked back and said, I'm going to look at my PPT just one more time. As I flipped through it, I realized this PPT was so ugly, I could never stand in front of it and be proud. Then started the long and grueling process, 1 more hour of precious time to fix that PPT, to make it look all right. I took a short nap and woke up with butterflies in my stomach. I walked into that class and I looked at the teachers that were looking back at me with expectations. As the course started, I was all right with public speaking. The best or the worst was yet to come. Finally, the PPT slide was on the voice and accent training module. I stepped up and I looked at the class. They held their breath, I held mine. And then we started. Slowly, the silence broke. Everybody started to smile. The teachers were interacting with me. And by the end, we were having a lot of fun. In the middle, when we stopped for break, the teachers came up. They complimented me. They said they'd never seen such an exciting presentation before. A lot of them gave me referrals. A tiny little dancer in my heart woke up. It was starting to dance. I could feel the rhythm. But by the end of the program, that dancer was dancing its heart away. I didn't walk out of Sydney High School with 1 client. I walked out with 2 in my hand. But I was stuck in a tough situation. One of those clients was an individual services client. I had a big fat PPT for a group of people, but I didn't have anything for an individual. I thought about it, and I figured the easy way out was to stick to the PPT. No extra effort required. So I got on with it. I said, yes, I will take you on. I signed him up for 3 months. Day 1 was amazing. We had a lot of fun. Day 2 was good too. But then came day 3. My client looked at me. He was bored. He didn't want to watch me read out a PPT to him. The group activities were nothing. He didn't have anyone to practice with. It was just me. Day 4, 5, and 6 were even worse. Energy levels were plummeting, and boredom levels were hitting the sky. I knew I had to do something. I consulted with my client. Hey, how are the classes going? Is there something I should do to make them better, more interesting? He looked at me I hit a roadblock. Was his stamp of approval enough? The eerie words of Anne Rand rang in my head. Virtue can be faked for an audience, but you cannot fake it in your own eyes. Your ego is the strictest judge. I consulted with my all-knowing mother, the one who has all the answers. As usual, instead of telling me the direct answer, she decided to tell me a story. All hell broke loose. The courtiers were furious that their peer and colleague was getting 30 times more than they were. They stormed up to the king and demanded to know the reason why Ayaz was getting 30 times more than the rest of them. The king calmly replied, "Don't worry, someday you'll find out." Soon, the occasion arose. They went out on a hunting trip, and the king took his courtiers with him. As they were hunting, far away in the distance, they could see a caravan passing by. The king was curious. He wanted to know, where are they going? He looked at the courtiers, and none of them had an answer. So he sent one of his courtiers to find out. The courtier roared ferociously and came back with the answer. "Their Highness, they're going to Riyadh." "Where are they coming from?" There was silence. There was no answer. The king sent another courtier. This happened again and again and again until the king had found all the answers to his questions. Finally, he decided now was the time to teach these courtiers a lesson. He sat them down and said, "Once, Ayaz was with me on a hunting trip similar to this one. I sent him out to find out the answer, and he came back, not just with the question that I asked him, but with all the other questions. Name, fame, and fortune were the three things that Ayaz had. But had he done something extraordinary? Had he done something out of this world? The only thing that he did was put himself into the king's shoes. He had predicted what the king wanted, and he gave the king exactly what he was looking for. This was my answer. This was what I had to do with my mind. So I thought about what I would want if I was in his place. Obviously, I wouldn't want to be bored to death. I would want somebody who was interesting. Learning should be fun. It should be an experience that I should carry with me forever. And it should be targeted towards my problem areas. I decided to recreate my model. Yes, it was going to be a big effort, but it was going to be worth it. As soon as I tweaked it, I learned new teaching methodologies and got my things together. I could see that there was a world of a difference in the way my client was reacting to me. His energy levels were now hitting the sky, and boredom had hit rock bottom. There was nothing left. Finally, my internal judge had passed a verdict. This was a job well done. But this was not just what my judge said. The proof is in the pudding. My client has been working with me not just for 3 months, but for almost a year now. And the change has been phenomenal. Not just in him, but in me as well. I have learned new techniques, new concepts, new methodologies in my way, in my process of going out of the way to help him. I decided to do this for all of my clients, and ever since then, the phone has never stopped ringing. When I look back at my life, there is something that I think about. Had I been okay, that he said my classes were okay and up to his expectations, I would never have reached to where I am today. There is a finite difference in effort between fairly good and the best, but there is an infinite difference between mediocrity and superiority. Let us commit that whatever job we do, no matter how big or how small, we put our best effort into it. Let us make our work a yardstick of quality, a yardstick of excellence, and a yardstick of competence. At the end of the day, mediocrity is easy. It's really easy to stick to low standards or standards set by somebody else. But true superiority lies in setting the highest standards. So go ahead, let your judge be the strictest judge. Raise the bar, and while you're out there reaching those heights, your little dancer will be dancing its heart away.